Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, Codingfacecom. Your boy's back and out and did it again one more time. In this video, we are going to be talking about why most YouTube subscribers to the most popular YouTube channels, right, can't find a junior developer position, right? Now, I've been doing research, right? I've been doing a lot of research. I usually like to see what's going on in the community of YouTube. I like to see what's going on with my subscribers, with everybody else's subscribers, and usually I click on tutorials and I click on different videos from different YouTubers to basically not even watch the videos. A lot of time is to do research and to see what's going on in the community as a whole, right? What am I seeing, right? How can I, myself as an instructor, try to help this community, the people that's out here? And one thing that I keep seeing everywhere, right? One thing that I keep seeing everywhere is that almost in every tutorial from like the top YouTubers, right? The top guys that do tutorials, everywhere that you go, you see comments of like, hey man, I have a great portfolio. Hey man, I've done so many projects. Hey man, I can't find a job, right? Or you'll see, somebody putting a comment of like, hey man, back at it again, another tutorial. I'm gonna try to do this when I get a chance, but I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get a job with this thing, right? And I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. We're gonna start with the number one thing, right? First of all, the fact that most YouTube subscribers are looking for a junior developer position is the biggest problem that they're gonna have and they're gonna continue to face. Stop looking for a junior developer position, right? Forget about that title, okay? Forget about that a job description says, hey, we're looking for somebody with 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of experience. Like tomorrow, the Teletubby framework, it doesn't matter what framework it is, comes out tomorrow. An HR person, right? Somebody that works in the company, it could be a CEO, right? It could be a project manager. They're going to put in there, hey, the Teletubby framework, we're looking for somebody who has 5 years of experience. The Teletubby framework just came out yesterday. There is nobody with 5 years of experience. Everybody's at the same level, okay? And you as a junior developer, right, looking for a junior developer position, see those type of positions out there on Indeed.com, Dice.com, Glassdoor, and you say, man, I can't even apply to this. I don't have 5 years of experience. It just came out yesterday. How are you going to have 5 years of experience? You get what I'm saying? It just came out yesterday, okay? Now, the same thing with something like React. You might say, well, I see guys that, they need to have 5 years of experience as a React developer. In reality, you don't, right? You don't need to have 5 years of experience, okay? A guy that knows how to create a component, a guy that knows how to create a website, create a website from a design or add different functionalities to a web component, right? It doesn't matter if he has 10 years in or 3 weeks in. If he can get the job done, there's a job for him. But the biggest problem is that you as a junior developer, right? You just looking for the junior developer positions, right? A lot of times people miss out on opportunities, right? A lot of times people miss out on being able to apply to these jobs because they get scared about, I don't have 5 years of experience, etc. You get what I'm saying? So you need to stop looking for those jobs. Just apply to every job, even if it says senior developer, right? We're looking for a guy that has 10 years of experience. Apply. Your job is not to disqualify yourself from the job position. That's their job, right? You got to understand there's a process of you getting hired, right? You have the skills, you have the portfolio, you have the projects, right? You send your portfolio, right, to this company. You fill it out in Indeed.com or wherever you filled out the application, right? Once they see your portfolio, if your portfolio stands out compared to everybody else, they will give you a call. After that phone call, they will see what type of individual you are, what day you are available to come in if they feel like you are a good candidate. Excuse me. You're gonna go through the process of you actually, uh, going in and interviewing, right? Yeah, you might fail. Yeah, you might get the job, right? Either way, just go. Okay, that's the process of you getting hired. Okay, that's just how it is. Everybody gotta go through it. But what I'm saying with this, don't disqualify yourself and say, hey man, I don't have 5 years. That's not your job to disqualify yourself. That's their job. The person that's interviewing you, they're the one that needs to decide if you can be an asset to the team. Okay? So that's one thing that I keep seeing from everybody. Right? Now, another thing is I keep seeing people that they're so focused on the latest thing. Vue 3 comes out tomorrow. React 18 comes out tomorrow. Angular 24 comes out tomorrow. And every single one of you guys want to just learn the latest thing that just came out, not realizing that there's guys who have 5 years, 10 years of experience that have been doing other type of, technologies or frameworks or languages, and they might just be bored, right? They just might be bored with those things. A guy that's doing PHP for the last 10 years, he wants to do Node.js, right? A guy that's been doing Node.js, he wants to do Python. A guy that's been doing Python, he wants to do Golang, okay? So now you as a junior developer, again, I'm putting quotes on that, okay? You are trying to do everything that is the latest thing, right? You're focusing on trying to get skills of the latest framework, language, whatever it might be. Whatever is hot on YouTube, whatever is hot on blogs, on Twitter. And you're not understanding that every YouTuber, every blogger gets paid from your attention, your engagement, your views. Okay? This is how they make money. They make money by creating videos and tutorials and things that are trending. Now, is that going to be beneficial for you? Okay? Is learning every single thing that just drops beneficial for you? Are the jobs there for you? And I'm gonna be honest, about 80% of the time, right? 20% of the time, yes, there's a job for you with the latest technology, whatever it might be. But 80% of the time, your first opportunity is gonna be in a field, is gonna be in an industry that nobody else wants to do. And when I say nobody else wants to do, I'm talking about the guys that's been here 5, 10 years, right? Like I said, a guy that's been doing PHP for 10 years, he's been doing this shit for 10 years already. He don't want to go to another PHP job, right? Another company doing PHP. He wants to try something else. So what happens? That's an opportunity for you to take that job, okay? Sometimes having the latest thing, it might not be beneficial for the junior developer. One thing that I focus here on CodingPhase, I don't focus on the sexiest things. I don't focus on the things that, are gonna give me views. They're not. A lot of the shit that I talk about is really about things that's gonna get you a job. Okay, that's what I focus on. How you can get paid as a developer. How can you get into this industry as soon as possible? Okay, when I got into the game myself, right, a lot of companies were switching over to Angular, right? And I'm talking about a long time ago. This is Angular 1 when it first just started, right? Now, everybody wanted to become an Angular developer at the moment. You know what I did, right? Because I was trying to quote unquote master everything about JavaScript, I actually learned frameworks and different things that were not popular. And the moment I did that, I found a job right away. At the time, Backbone, which was a front end framework, right, was not phasing out, but it's like it wasn't popular. It wasn't the thing that everybody was talking about on Twitter, or everybody was talking about on freaking YouTube, right? But I looked around and I saw that there was a whole bunch of jobs that were looking for Backbone developers. And that was one of the main reasons that I got my first official developer position, because I knew Backbone, because I knew jQuery. It's the same thing as now. The same shit is happening right now as we speak. Like I just said, a guy that's doing PHP for 10 years doesn't want to go to another PHP job. Most likely he wants to go to a Node.js job, or most likely might want to go to Python, or most likely might want to go to Golang, right? So those PHP jobs are there, they're available to you. They're beneficial to you as a junior developer, okay? So you want to take advantage of the things that nobody else is paying attention to. I've been talking here about Shopify, right? Shopify's been around for a minute, but now there's a lot of opportunities with Shopify development and a lot of jobs in different areas throughout the country, right? And even worldwide, okay? Now, nobody else here on YouTube, one thing that you're gonna notice, nobody else on YouTube is talking about Shopify. And you might say, Joe, but why are you always going to the left field? Everybody's going to the right. Everybody's talking about the MERN stack, freaking MongoDB, Express, React, Node.js, right? That's what they're focusing on, okay? Why are you always going to the left? You know why I always go to the left? Because there's more opportunities there. Nobody's doing it. Nobody's talking about it, okay? So when you get into something that not everybody's going to, your options and your opportunities are greater than you going to the thing that everybody else wants to do, okay? And another thing that I want to say is a lot of people choose different technologies, different frameworks, libraries, programming languages, etc., right? Stacks by what's popular, what's trending. Stop doing that. This is why you don't have a job, okay? This is why you don't have a job. It's that simple, okay? There's so many different things that you could be doing to get your first job. You could always come back to all of those trendy things, okay? But the first goal that you need to have is just to get hired. That's the first goal. Some of you guys might come in and be like, my goal is to go work at Google and become a data scientist, and I want to be working with Tesla, building the freaking cars that fly. You need to learn how to crawl before you run. You need to get your first job before you start thinking about, hey man, this is my ultimate goal and this is what I'm preparing myself to. I've met people in YouTube comments that be like, hey man, I'm trying to become a Golang developer. And I'm looking around, I'm like, that's your first job? Yeah, I'm trying to become a Golang developer. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, does this guy know that everybody else that's been here for 5 to 10 years, they've been wanting to become a Golang developer? You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to choose the things that's easier for you, okay? I'm going to give you guys a very good analogy, right? A very good example. I'm over here. I'm in Florida right now. Beautiful Florida, okay? I'm going to give you guys a very good example, and hopefully you guys get this. This is something that's going to change your mind, and this is going to change your life. Listen to this. I'm going to show you something that every single one of you guys see all the time. This is a tree, okay? This right here is a tree, okay? If I tell you, give me a leaf of this tree, give me any type of leaf that's on this tree, right? And that's your goal. That's your first initial goal. Get a leaf from this tree, okay? Why will you want to get your first leaf all the way up there, right? When there's a leaf right here, okay? I'm just breaking it down. I'm not the developer whisperer. I'm not some dude that is like the most technical guy, the most freaking smart guy in the world. I'm not the guy doing conferences. I'm not the guy going in and telling you guys, hey man, how to save and optimize your code. You know, here's your 300 lines of code, how we can optimize it to 10. I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna come in here and waste your time with that bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest with you and give you things that you can actually apply to your life. Okay? If that don't make sense what I just told you, you need to check yourself, right? Understand what I just told you, right? Think of this tree, right, as your career as a developer. Okay? Think of this tree as your career as a developer. If you need to get a job, right, and your first goal is to get a job, why are you looking for a job up there? When there's a job right here. Some of you guys might not even know, you could get hired as HTML email developer. You could get hired as content editor. You could get hired as web producer. You could get hired as product editor. There's so many different titles that you can start working with just HTML. Just HTML. When I've been saying this shit for years already, people look at me crazy. They're like, Joe, what are you talking about? You know, the guys that got 1 million subscribers, the guys that got 2 million subscribers, the guy that got 500,000 subscribers, they're not telling me this, right? And you have to understand this, right? They don't get paid by actually giving you the facts or actually giving you an answer to your problem. They get paid by your attention. I don't get paid by your attention. You get what I'm saying? I don't get paid by your attention. You could watch me or maybe not watch me. You could follow what I'm telling you or maybe not follow what I'm telling you. It doesn't do anything for me, okay? I get paid when my students succeed on CodingPhase.com, right? I get paid when people go to CodingPhase.com and they spend a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months in there. They get their job and they tell their friends about the success that they've had at CodingPhase.com. There's a lot of platforms out there that look more beautiful than CodingPhase.com. There's teams in companies. You go to Pluralsight, Team Treehouse, Codecademy, LinkedIn, a whole bunch of different platforms that have online courses. But there's something special that we have at CodingPhase.com, which is we try to make things more approachable to the average developer, to the person that's just trying to get a job. We break this shit down. You know the amount of people that I get in comments inside of my videos of like all of my courses, of people just coming in and be like, damn, Joe, I just came from so-and-so's course. Joe, I just came from this platform. Joe, this, and that. You just broke it down with, it makes sense to me. Because I'm not trying to sound here like I'm smart. I'm not trying to sound here like I'm trying to fucking be the fucking, second coming of Jesus Christ in coding. I'm just telling you guys the things that work. I'm a self-taught developer, so I literally know all of the things that it took for me to become who I am today. And it's funny because this, my journey started in 2011, right? But every single thing that I did in 2011 is applicable today. You could apply all of the same techniques, all of the same shit that I did back then in today's world. Like I said, because there's so many different things that people focus on that they shouldn't, right? You shouldn't focus on what's the latest thing that just dropped. Look around you. Look around your neighborhood, your city. Where are the jobs? You know what I'm saying? What are people hiring for? You know, people come in and be like, "Oh, Dino.js just dropped. I gotta stop everything that I'm doing. I was finishing a course or I was finishing a project that would have probably been more legit than anything that you probably had before, but you stopped everything that you're doing because you're like, I'm just jumping to Dino.js. There's no jobs for Dino.js. You know what I'm saying? There might not be no jobs for Dino.js for like 5 years. Why? Because somebody caught your attention. A YouTuber did a tutorial. A YouTuber did a course. A YouTuber came in and told you, hey man, this is the latest thing that just came out. Nah, man. You know, legacy code. Let's talk about legacy code, right? Maintaining legacy code is the easiest way for you to get higher anywhere. Doesn't matter what it is. I know some of you guys look at things like Angular 1 and you might say, damn, this should have smelled old. jQuery, I remember I saw this on Twitter. Some guy said, people are still learning jQuery? And this is when you know this person is a clown or lives in the San Francisco bubble. Do you know the amount of companies that still use jQuery till this day? There's people that come in to job interviews and don't get hired because they don't even have jQuery on their freaking portfolio. They don't even have it on their, on their resume. They think like this shit is done. They're like, oh man, everybody's on React. Everybody's on this and that. Nah, stupid. This shit is embedded to the web almost. It's the same thing as PHP. This thing is not gonna go anywhere. They're gonna be around. Do you understand that there's so many companies that have built so much work, right? With things like jQuery, things like PHP, C#, .NET, right? That it's just not worth the money to transfer everything, okay? Maybe they are switching over to new frameworks, right? Maybe they're switching over to newer frameworks, but at the end of the day, they need to maintain these things. So when you and a guy that goes into a job interview and y'all both have the same skills, y'all both took the same React course on Udemy, right? Y'all both have a pretty solid portfolio, but then one guy has the skills of, hey, he knows jQuery, hey, he knows PHP, right? Hey, he might know WordPress. Who you think is gonna get the job? It's not gonna be you. It's not gonna be you. Because this person has the things that they are actually using. You might say, I'm using the latest framework. I'm using 3 of the freaking latest frameworks that's out there, right? But you can't find a job. Now you gotta analyze yourself. Now you gotta look at what you're spending time on, what you're learning. You have to. You have to, right? You've been here for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, right? You can't find that front-end developer job. You can't find that back-end developer job. You can't find that full-stack developer job. You need to broaden your freaking search, bro. Spread out. Stop looking for just these titles. Start looking for different industries, different things that you can be part of. I was just doing a search just the other day. Matter of fact, last night. I always say the other day. It's like that shit was like a few hours ago. Right? We're talking about like I went to sleep like at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So that shit must have been like what? That's like 8-9 hours ago. Okay, but I'm looking, and there's a whole bunch of jobs, even in hospitals, right? There's jobs that I didn't even know that existed, that were out there looking for people who have the skills of HTML, CSS, and the skill of MySQL or MySQL, whatever you want to call it. Some of you guys that have been preparing yourself for being backend developers, that's the title that you're looking for, don't understand there's a job for you in the healthcare system because you already have three of the main skills that they're looking for: HTML, CSS, and MySQL. And if you know .NET, it's even better because most of those hospitals and those of those companies that are part of the healthcare system, they use in .NET. So you were so focused on getting, you know, the freaking title of backend developer. I've been looking for backend developer. Everybody's applying to that. I can't find a job for that. Not broadening your freaking search results and looking out there. You know what I mean? Like, this is why you don't have a job, right? It's not because of anything. It's not that it's your fault. You don't have the skills. You're not talented. It's just you're not really getting the right information. Nobody's really giving you the right details. Nobody's really telling you the real shit. It's that simple. You need to understand the difference between, you know, what's popular. What's popular is something that every company is using, or the majority of them is using. So we could say React, we could say Angular. Those things are popular, right? What's trending? Dino.js, right? GraphQL, right? Those are things that are trending, okay? What is solid? PHP, JavaScript, jQuery, WordPress, Shopify, right? .NET, C#, Java, right? That's solid. So you have to understand that. And you have to understand, just like anybody that goes to, like, let's say you go to a dealership, you go to a car dealership, okay? You go to the car dealership and you say, I don't know which car I want to buy, right? I always give this analogies and this example, so to break it down, to bring it down to the human level, right? Because all of this technology and all of this tech talk can go over people's heads, right? I like to bring it down to simple terms, like a regular human being. We're talking English, we're talking regular plain English. I'm not trying to give you big words and big freaking shit that's gonna make me sound smart. I don't need to sound smart. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to sound smart. My actions already make me what I am. You know what I'm saying? But with that, let's break it down. You go to a car dealership. You say, I want to buy a car. Okay? Now, you want to buy a car. Cool. Now, a guy's going to come in and is going to show you a couple of cars. There's a car that you can afford. There's a car that you definitely do not are not able to afford. And there's cars that you don't need. Okay? The car salesman's job is to try to get you into cars that you don't need or you can't afford. That's the same thing that happens in social media, social networks. Okay? This is the same thing that happens. Okay? A YouTuber, a blogger, a Twitter guy, an Instagrammer, a TikToker, their job is not really to give you the best advice and the best things that you might need, right? Most of the time, what's going to happen is that they're going to give you the things that's going to catch your attention, and that's catching everybody's attention so they can maximize on their income, because their income is engagement. Their income is getting paid from the views, okay? I've been here on CodingPhase. I don't care if we got 60-something thousand subscribers. We make action. We get people into jobs. We get shit done. Okay? We don't get paid from YouTube. Okay? And you might say, Joe, but you have courses. So you could also be a car salesman. You could also be a guy that's telling me, learn this shit, learn these things, because you want to sell me a course. And you're right. You have a right to think like that. Okay? You have a right to think like that. Okay? But the truth is that when I come here to YouTube, I give you the actual truth. I give you the actual facts. Because me making sure that you have a job brings you back to me, which is my platform, CodingPhase.com. Me giving you the right facts that you're going to see changes, that you're going to be like, oh shit, you know what? I'm actually getting calls now. I'm actually going into job interviews, right? By you getting the right information, you getting the right info, even though I might be speaking to a very small community, it actually makes me more income. Because as you start seeing results, you come back to CodingPhase and your dollar goes to CodingPhase because you have seen results. I don't get paid from the views. I got 145 people in here. I'm not getting paid from this shit. This video might make 1,500 views. This video might just get 1,500 views. And if you calculate that, how much is that? That's probably like $3, $5. At a maximum, $9. What am I going to do with $9? That's going to change my life? No. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to do anything. I'm not going to get 100,000 views on this video. I'm not going to get 1 million views on this video. Because this is actual facts. This is me giving you the right information that you need. This is not the trending. This is not the popular comments. This is not me giving you guys information to get views. This is just me being honest with you guys as a friend and telling you, hey man, this is the things that is wrong with you, and this is why you're not getting a job right now. Like I said, number one, not coming in and applying to the jobs that you see. Just saying, you know, disqualifying yourself, saying, I don't know this, I don't know that, you're disqualifying yourself, right? Going in and chasing every trending thing, knowing that everybody else is also chasing the trending things, when there's already a solid foundation out there for you. There's a lot of different skills that you guys can focus on, and you could get hired for. You have the skills. It's not that you don't have the skills. You have the skills. Some of you guys have gone through even boot camps. You have gone through boot camps. Y'all went through freaking colleges. Y'all freaking went through like every UDEMY course that you could think of. That you know how to do this job, you can do it, right? But you're not even applying to the right jobs. You're not even focusing on the things that you might need to focus on. And you don't know how to differentiate yourself. You know what I mean? Like, when you come here to YouTube, you're supposed to come in as a, what's the word? Skeptical. Like, you come in here and, you know, like, think about it. Be like, hey man, why is this individual giving me this type of content? What's the goal behind it? Right? Why is this individual giving me nothing but trending things? What's the goal behind it? Is it something that's for me, that's valuable for me? Or is it something that's valuable for him to catch my attention and have me click on it? It's just like when you go buy a car. Everybody knows that when you go buy a car, you got to be skeptical with the guy who's selling you the car, because you know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a bigger cut of that freaking profit. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to sell you the most expensive car. He's trying to sell you into shit that can't sell, right? They have cars that, you know, sometimes I've seen this shit happen even to me. You know, when I was that broke, there was a place called Major World in New York City, right? I went to Major World and they were literally trying to sell me. I went in there, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I went in there to get if I'm not mistaken, I wanted to get Nissan Z something. I forgot the name of it. Z something. You know, it's the 2-door coupe. Right? At the moment, I didn't have good credit. I didn't have nothing. Right? But I have enough credit and enough income to buy that car because that car was $20,000. Right? It was a bullshit car. I know I could afford it. But you know what the salesman was trying to do? He's like, man, you don't need this car, man. I got this nice Ford Fusion for you. This thing, this is your first car. You could buy this Ford Fusion. And I'm thinking in my head, wait, I could afford this Ford Fusion or whatever it was. It's a Ford something. It costs $20,000, same price as the Nissan. But the Nissan is a car that sells more than that bullshit Ford that he was trying to get me into. So his goal wasn't to get me a car and get me driving. He wanted to make sure that I got the bullshit that they couldn't even sell. So he tried to do that. You know, he tried to put me into the car that's a bullshit car that they wasn't selling. And they're like, oh, let me try to get this sucker to buy this car. Right? I ain't fall for it because I was skeptical. I went in there skeptical. Like, yo, I'm looking around like, my dude, I know what you guys do here. You know what I'm saying? I know what you guys do here. If like, let me get that Nissan. If you can't give me that Nissan, I'll go to another dealer. You know, and then at the end when I'm walking out, he's like, nah, bro, we're going to get you that Nissan. And that's when I told him, so why the hell was you trying to sell me this shit from the beginning? Why are you wasting an hour freaking throwing me around a whole bunch of different, same car, but the different colors? I'm like, bro, I don't want this Ford shit. Why are you bringing me around for that? For a whole hour when I told you I wanted the Nissan. Now I'm leaving with my business. You know what I'm saying? But why I'm telling you this story is because it's the same thing that happens here. You got to go into all of this shit, all of this communities, all of this YouTube channel, even mine. Come in with as a skeptical. Come in and be like, yo, like look around, see if it's something that's valuable to you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. If it's something that can apply to you, if it's something that's going to be beneficial for you. But don't just follow it just because the person told you. It's like right now, I'm giving you an advice. I'm just being honest with you. But even right now, you could be a skeptical and be like, Joe, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to learn Dino.js right now, Joe. I'm going to make my own decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, make your own decision. But when it passed a year, when it passed 6-7 months, and you look around like, damn, I can't find a job for Dino.js. Just remember, I told you this. You know? Now, same thing with any community, any YouTube channel, anything that you watch, any blog that you read, any Twitter post that you read, right? Think about it like this. It's like a guy who's like a conspiracy theorist, right? Like, you gotta think and look at that shit with a side eye like, yo, why are you trying to promote this shit for me? Why you want me to get on this thing? What's the benefit on you for this? Right? Why am I watching all this type of videos from you and I'm not getting no results? I'm not seeing nothing. Right? That's how it is. I mean, there's people that see here on my YouTube channel that can say, Joe, I've been watching you since 2017. I got no results. But then those of you guys that are saying, hey, I got no results. You got to sit down and look at yourself in the mirror and say, did I really follow what Joe said? Or did I just watch Joe and did my own thing? Everybody that has followed what I've been telling them is working right now. Every single person to the T, right? Every single one. You know who are the ones that are not working, who are not getting the shit together? The ones that were influenced by everything else that's around them. The ones that jumped from course to course. The guys that didn't start looking for a job just by HTML on the search results, and they want to start looking by front-end developer, back-end developer, full-stack developer, React developer, right? Those are the guys that are not working today. The guys that came in and just started searching with HTML, start from there. Build yourself up. It's like I told you guys, the perfect example, okay? Why will you try to go and get a leaf up there when you could start and get a leaf down here? That's what I try to do here on CodingPhase.com. I don't think if you've been here for long enough and you still haven't noticed that, then I can't do nothing for you, man. You're a tentana. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do shit for you, bro. How Knox says, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it if you still haven't put that shit together. Like, that's what I do, right? My goal here is not to get you guys to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. That's a journey that you gotta go through, right? My job is not to try to get you to become the next Jeff Bezos or the Jeff Bezos CTO, Amazon CTO or whatever. I'm not trying to make you that shit, right? I'm just trying to make sure that you pick up one of these leaves right here and your journey starts. That's it. That's all I want to do. I want to get you into one of these things, pull you up, and continue on your journey on from there. That's it. That's all I want for you. Okay? But like I said, man, this live stream was just really to give you guys a quick insight why people are not getting jobs. It's very simple. Break it down again for those of you guys that just got here. It's very simple. You know, people disqualify themselves. They don't apply to their own jobs, right? The jobs that they need to, because they see, hey, a job says, hey, you need 5 years of experience. Forget that. If you have the skills, you're gonna get hired. That shit has nothing to do with it. Okay? I've seen guys that had, freaking 6 months of experience and they got hired as senior level developers, getting paid more than me. And that's when I was already like a mid-level developer. And I'm like, bro, how you got into this shit? This and that. They knew how to finagle their way in. I'm like, how the hell this guy? I know more than him, and he making way more money than me. And he got the title of senior developer, and I was a mid-level developer at the time, right? Talking about like 2013, 2014. And it's because people just apply. And that was the thing that I didn't even know myself. I'm telling you guys all of this shit out of experience. When I teach you guys something or I give you an advice, it's not because, like I say, I'm the developer whisperer. Like I got all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I'm giving you the answers out of experience from the mistakes that I made. It's like I made the mistakes, so you don't have to do it again. Everything that you guys are doing now, I did it in 2011. Literally. Every single thing. And people continue doing the same shit till now. I try to master everything. I thought that I need to learn everything in the world. I try to learn all of the latest things. And then at the end of the day, the job that really gave me an opportunity was a job that we needed to focus on Ruby on Rails and Backbone. Two things that were not trending in 2012. Two things that were not trending. They were not popular. Okay? I was preparing myself for Angular and, freaking getting into Node.js and this and that. It's like, nah, bro. This is where the jobs is at. This is where you're going to find your first opportunity. And my first job wasn't even a web developer position. My first job was as product editor, which is pretty much uploading photos to a website, changing titles, right? Uploading listings to eBay, Amazon, Overstock.com, and a whole bunch of other ones like Walmart and things like that, where it's like third parties. Newegg, you guys know about Newegg, right? So that was my job, right? My first initial job wasn't a thing that said HTML email developer. It wasn't a thing that says developer nothing. It said product editor. That's my first opportunity to the industry. I was able to use HTML, CSS. I was able to work on websites, okay? I was able to have a stamp on my resume, which opened doors to every other job that I got later on. Okay? So, it is what it is, okay? You don't need to have the sexy title. It's your first job, my dude. Get into the industry. Get into the industry. It's your first job. That's the goal. Like I said, again, give you guys the same example. I'm going to bring this example up because this is literally your career right now. Your career is this big ass tree. Okay? If I tell you, hey man, give me a leaf of this tree, any leaf, doesn't have to be exactly from the tree, but give me a leaf that's connected. Understand this analogy. Give me a leaf that's connected or it's on this tree. This is your career. There's so many different avenues, so many different paths that you can choose. You have to be stupid to go and try to give me a leaf from up there. Your journey, I'm not saying that you won't get there, but your journey there, it's gonna take you a long time. Now imagine the guy that's smart and says, you know what, Joe? I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna give you this leaf. Walking distance. I don't gotta climb anything, I don't gotta do anything. And it's connected to the tree through a vine. It's not even the tree. It's on the tree. This is your career. So I don't understand for the duntenance that's out there and still like, gee, this shit doesn't fucking work for me. My brain can't comprehend. What is he talking about, this tree? It's web development. It's freaking software development. It's engineering, right? This is the tech industry, right? This tree is the tech industry. There's so many different avenues, so many pathways that you can go, and so many different careers and job titles that you can apply to. But you have to understand, your goal is to get to the tech industry. Doesn't matter which one it is. You want to get to the one that's closer to you, the easiest one. You see that leaf that I just showed you? That leaf is not part of the tree. It's on the tree. It's the same thing that I did in 2012 when I first got my first job. Product editor is not web development. Product editor is just like that leaf on that vine that's on the tree, not part of the tree. But because I got on the tree and I got any type of leaf that was in there, that opened the doors for me to continue climbing up. Broke it down to you guys. Slow it down. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Hopefully some of you guys got something out of this live stream and learn from this thing. And again, I'm not throwing shade to any YouTuber or anything, but you have to understand what's the difference between, when people make money from your views and your engagement. Are they gonna give you what you need to get a job? Or are you gonna follow the advice of somebody that makes money from your success? You get what I'm saying? Like, if it really comes down to it. If it really comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love every person that's out here that's doing whatever they have to do. But it's so important for you guys to understand that. Not everything that somebody puts in front of you means it's actually good. Or they're giving you a good advice. You have to understand how everyone makes income out of this shit. You get what I'm saying? Bro, I'm not saying even no names, but there was even one time, like, there was a dude that I respected that was, I could say, was a crucial reason why I got on YouTube. And for years, this individual was promoting Death Mountain, right? Death Mountain, Death Mountain, Death Mountain this, Death Mountain that, Death Mountain this, Death Mountain that, right? Now, I knew, because I've been in the industry already for a while, I'm like, yo, a lot of this boot camps are bullshit. And I'm like, I wonder why he's promoting that shit, you know? But I still fucks with him because I like the guy, right? But then it came out years later, we're talking about like 3-4 years later, individual comes in and says, hey, I'm no longer getting paid by Dev Mountain. I don't really believe in boot camps. And in my head, I'm like, damn, So you signed up thousands, probably thousands, or if not hundreds of people to this platform, to this boot camp, and you didn't even believe in this shit. That's when I realized, I'm like, I gotta come into this game and have my eyes open and realize, what are people here for? Are they here for results, or are they here for views? Are they here for their sponsors, or are they here for results? And that's it. From there on, I'm just a skeptical. I do my own research. It's like right now, you guys could go ahead and say, Joe, jQuery? Like somebody right now is punching the air. It's like, jQuery, Joe? You talking about jQuery in 2020? You don't got to believe me. You got to just go online and go to Indeed and search jQuery. See how many jobs is out there. You could do your own research. Somebody might say, Joe, Shopify? Shopify in 2020, Joe? You don't got to believe me. Everything that I'm telling you is with facts. Google. WordPress, Joe? WordPress? You talking about WordPress in 2020? You don't have to believe me. You could do your Googles. Do your Googles, my dude. PHP, Joe? PHP is a dying language in 2020? You don't have to believe me. Do your own Googles. The numbers will tell you the truth. You get what I'm saying? And that's about that, kids. You know, people say all the time, Joe, why you always pulling out the calculator? Why I pull out the calculator? Because when I talk about numbers, I don't want nobody to be like, Joe, you making up these numbers. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm breaking it down to you. You get what I'm saying? When people be like, damn, Joe, you're talking about you can make $5,000 with Shopify, right? If your application is $5 and you got 1,000 users, which is easy to do on Shopify, that's $5,000. So that's why I pull out the calculator. So we could do calculation right there. 5,000, right? 5 times 1,000. So you guys could go in there and be like, yeah, okay, Joe. When we calculate how much is that per year, we break it down for you guys. You can't fucking make up these numbers, bro. The shit that I tell you is not me because I'm smart. It's just like literally, with simple research, you could look at it yourself and come up with the same conclusion that I'm giving you. I'm just reminding you guys that do your own research. But like I said, man, those are the reasons why people are not getting jobs, and it is what it is, okay? Shout out to everybody in here. Let me see. I just want to read through the comments, see if we're going to give a shout out to a couple of people, all right? You know where I'm at. Florida, okay? Let me see. Man, we got a lot of comments in here, man. Shout out to everybody who's in here. And the man says the real reason most of you guys don't get hired is because you don't look like a pro. You want to look like a pro, not a noob. You want to look like a mid-level developer in skills. Yep, that's a good advice. Let me see. Cam says, look, I would pluck chickens in this case. Let me see. Big fish will persist and get desired job. Jack of all trades, master of one. Yes, there's a lot of web jobs in healthcare. You have to check the description, and many of them know they won't get the employee they want, so we'll settle. Yep, exactly. Exactly what Mind Over Matter says. A lot of times people don't apply to jobs because they see a whole bunch of listings in there that have a crazy description. And what people don't understand is that those are like wish lists. They are impossible for somebody to have every single thing. Most of the time, right? There's probably one guy that's never had a girlfriend, that fucking lives in the fucking basement, lives with his mom, he never went out, he never freaking hanged out with anybody, and he might have every single thing that's inside of a job description nowadays. But that's that guy. He never went outside. Okay? The average human being doesn't have the time to know every single language that they put in there, every single framework that they put in there, every single technology, every single thing that is catered to that specific job or is catered to that specific industry. Most people are not going to have all of those things. Let's see. Dream Comes True says, to be honest, I'm just nervous to accept a position. And it's true. A lot of people are nervous to get that first job and fail or look dumb in front of other developers. Because at one point you're gonna look dumb. It happens to everyone. It happened to me. You know, you thought you knew, you get to a job and you realize, holy shit, I don't know shit. Because the tutorials don't prepare you for what happens in the real world. The tutorial, and there's another thing too. Tutorials and courses prepare you for a perfect world, right? You know, some people might come to CodingPhase.com and say, Joe, why do you keep the mistakes? Why don't you edit things out? Why don't you do this and that? And the reason why I do that is to prepare you for what's going to happen. There's errors, there's problems with a semicolon, this and that, right? There's a million things that can go wrong. What I hate is when I watch a tutorial from somebody or a course from somebody and it's perfect. What you don't know is that that person that did that 1 hour video, they spent 3 days, 4 days on the project that they try to show you. It takes time. There was a whole bunch of mistakes. So it's the same thing when you're taking a course. You're taking a course and you think everything is perfect. This shit never has any bugs. Of course not. Because that person already went through all the bugs and made sure that you don't have any bugs. But that doesn't teach you how to solve the problem. Okay? That's something that a lot of people miss out on. So when they go to those jobs and they get hired, they never bumped into problems and they're like, holy shit, they start panicking, start catching anxiety attacks at the job. You know, it's the same thing what this guy said. To be honest, I'm just nervous to accept the position because you've never put yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable. If you're building things from a course all the time and you don't go and build things on your own, then yeah, you might be like, holy shit, I'm not ready to start thinking for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ready to get tested in the real world. That's something that you got to go through. You got to start building your own projects, building your own things, so you could challenge yourself and try to train your brain on how to be a problem solver. Okay? Mr. Jocelyn says, what does Jocelyn says? I'm trying to read. I'm just reading. I had to compromise on the type of job I was applying to instead of working for a firm. That's what she says. I work for a small bank, but I got a lot of experience. Yep. Sometimes you have to start somewhere. That's how it is. Yeah, man. Let me see. Reading. Joe, Digital Shaolin says, Joe is the only YouTube dev that isn't annoying. No, I think there's a lot of talented and really good YouTubers out here. I just feel like, I don't know if they give you the best advice. I don't know if, and also too, can't even put the blame on the YouTubers when a lot of this type of videos that come out, it's really, you put it on YouTube's algorithm, right? Imagine this. if you're a YouTuber and you have to create content to feed your family, but the YouTube algorithm only gives you views when you create certain type of topics or certain type of things that are trending that might not be beneficial for the subscriber, right? And you say, you know what, I gotta feed my family. What happens then? You have to create the content that's gonna be able to feed your family, the one that's gonna get views, the one that's gonna get you engagement time. That's just how it is. This type of live stream, you know, I'm glad that you guys are here, but this shit should be having like 1 million views. Will it get 1 million views? I doubt it. You could come back tomorrow. This shit might have 1,000 views. Only 1,000 of you guys got the benefits of this video. But that's how it is. At the same time, I don't make money from YouTube views. If I'm talking to 1,000 of you guys and I'm able to help out at least 50 of you guys and you guys actually follow what I tell you, I'm good with that. I don't need to have 1 million views, 1 million subscribers. If I can help out every time that I get 1,000 views, I can help out 50 to 100 people, I'm good with that. That's it. You know what I mean? 84 Music said, Dear Joe gave us the verbal pow pow. Mind over matter. Dudes trying to finagle their way in. It's true. People finagle their way in. And you'll be surprised because, you know, they're more confident. You know, when I came into the game, I wasn't confident at all. I was just, you see, like what you see today, this is Joe after 8 years. This is Joe after 8 years. You know what I mean? When I came into the game, this was not Joe. Joe was timid. Little Timmy. You know what I mean? Little Timmy timid. You know what I mean? I go into job interviews, I'm nervous. I don't got a degree. You know, I'm fucking nervous because I'm like, man, are they gonna pull out some shit? Because, you know, when you don't got a degree or you're like, you know, your background is not computer science, right? You're thinking they're gonna pull a card, they're gonna pull out some shit that you never heard of. They're like, they're gonna come in out of nowhere and it's like, yo, convert this freaking hexadecimal to a bit, and this is like, they're gonna give you some shit, you know? That, I mean, that's what I used to think. I used to be like, damn, my God, it's like somebody's gonna pull my card, some shit that I don't know. And then I realized most guys don't know shit either. They specialize in one thing, and that's what they know. There's shit that I know that a lot of guys don't know. You know, I remember I was working for contract work at an e-commerce company, and the guys that were there for like, they were like 10 years of developers and this and that, they didn't know anything about retargeting freaking ads and retargeting, you know, advertisement through Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, all of these other things that I didn't know that brought value to the project that I was working on. Okay? They didn't know about Facebook pixels. They didn't know about web hooks. They didn't know about connecting to, you know, third-party companies through webhooks and getting people's emails and remarketing to them and this and that. Even the owners were impressed. They're like, oh, wow, we hired this guy for contract work as a developer, and he's giving us so much gems, and he's setting us up with a whole bunch of different things. And wow, there was only guys that all they knew how to do was just code. All they knew how to do was .NET. I knew the front end. I knew React. I knew how to fucking get shit done, how to make sure that things sold, right? How to optimize the pages. I remember in that job, you know, there was freaking pages that will take 5 seconds to load. We're talking about an e-commerce website. Bro, you can't have an e-commerce website load up in less than 2 seconds. 2 seconds is the maximum. You want to get 1 second to 1.5 seconds. Because when somebody goes to a page and that page takes too long, they leave. They just press the back button and like, oh, I'm out. I'm going to go to Amazon. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. That 0.5 of a second, It just makes it gives people the time to think and say, do I really want to buy from here? Maybe I should just go to Amazon and get that shit in 2 days from now, right? So the things that I knew, the guys that were there for 10 years, they had no idea how to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the same thing. It's like, yeah, you come in nervous right now, and yeah, you might be scared of the industry, but you start picking up skills that other people do not have. So just know that you are valuable yourself too. You know, Matt Tran, my work on the project into production. Da da da. Let's see, PHP Joe for GeoFS is like PHP Joe. You talking about PHP in 2020? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how people be. And then they look around, they're like, man, I can't find a job. There's a fucking PHP jobs is slapping you in the face and you still can't see them. It's like a ghost. You're like, damn, something keeps on slapping me and I can't see it. Like, yeah, bro. Shout out to Vinod. Love from India. Thank you, man. Love from here, from Florida. You know, love from the U.S. Kid. Yo, man. Basement Bob. Let's see. Mind over matter says plus people on the job are so stingy they will do things to deliberately show your flaws. Yeah, a lot of times. That's something that you got to deal with because what was it? What's the word? Job security. So like, let's say there's a developer that's in a company has been there for 5 years, 10 years, right? And they just hire a new guy who have new skills and new things, and maybe it's more fresh, more updated on what's going on in the industry, right? For him to have job security, he has to make you look bad. He has to make you look like a newbie. Like you're fresh. You're like, yo, this guy has no experience. It's like, look at me, boss. I know everything. Look at this poor fuck. Like he don't know how to do shit around here, boss. Like, there's people like that. There's fucking snakes out there, bro. There's snakes out there like that, bro. There's people that you look around, you're like, yo, why you snake me like that, bro? Like if it was in the real, like I get killed for it. You know what I mean? Like dudes be snitching, dudes snitching on the job, and it's like, and this cultures. I was listening to Netflix CEO. Netflix CEO, they did an interview on him on NPR, right? I know about all this shit because I'm on top of the game, right? I'm always freaking listening to CEOs and fucking interviews like this because it's valuable. You learn from a lot of these clowns, right? This guy goes like, listen, at Netflix we're trying to bring a culture of if somebody is like slacking, basically. He was saying like if somebody's slacking, we want others to hold him accountable. And what they're saying is, hey, if you slack a little bit, we want your coworkers to snitch on you and just literally say, hey man, this guy, this and that. This guy came in late. This guy, this, like everything. So he has a book that's out now. You guys could go get that if you want to support him. That clown, CEO of Netflix, and he's like, yeah, he's like, we want to build a culture of like, it's a snitch culture. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you had to leave work early because your kid broke his arm in school. There's a snitch in the office. It'll be like, ooh, it's like the hallway monitor. He's writing that down. So, oh, well, there goes Joe. His kid broke his arm again. He had to leave early. He couldn't finish his project by 5 o'clock. It's gonna take him till tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro. So if you go into all these companies, like you always gotta keep that shit in mind. I don't trust nobody, bro. When I go into companies, I'm already like I know what you're doing. I've been there. I know how it is. I already seen how it is. You know, I don't trust nobody. I go into companies, I don't trust nobody. I'm not there to be friends with people. Nobody is gonna be friendly to me. They're gonna act like they're friendly, but it's a coworker. The moment that they need you to get fired, they'll fire you. The moment that they need to throw dirt on your name so they could get a promotion, they'll throw dirt on your name. Like that's how it is. Yeah. Jocelyn Mitchell was like, "Yo, that sounds so toxic." For real, go search it. Go look it up. Netflix CEO. Search snitch. Now, imagine Netflix CEO trying to build a 6ix9ine culture. You know what I mean? Google that. Let's see if that shit pops up. Nah. But search Netflix CEO culture, and you're gonna see. And they did an interview on NPR, and usually on NPR they do a review of what they talked about in interviews. So somewhere in the internet, it's out there where he talks about this, and he's like, "Oh, we don't really want to say that, we want to tell each other. We're just holding each other accountable. This is not my fucking company." You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm thinking in my head. This is not my company for me to be like, I'm gonna be throwing people under the bus. This is not my company. I'm not responsible for this shit. Like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but this is what you guys want to go work for. Like, I'd rather go work for a small business that maybe pays me $80,000, right? And they have a good culture in the company. Everybody's nice, right? It's more like family. Oh, that was another thing too that really bothered me. Um, he said at Netflix, we're not a family, which is exactly what I've been saying to a lot of you guys that be thinking like, y'all go to new companies and y'all think you're in a family, because that's all bullshit. They just bullshit you. But at least he's the only one that I've ever heard, only CEO that I've ever heard that said this. Google this thing too. He said, Netflix is not a family, it's a team. Okay? You could get cut from the team at any moment. There's no fucking remorse. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll cut you. We'll get you the hell out of here. For anything. You slack just a little bit, you're out of here. In a family, you think about the person's family. Think about their kids. You think about their mortgage. You think about, hey, did they travel from Europe to come all the way to the U.S.? Do they have a visa? They just come from India. Do they have a visa? If we fire him, is he going to lose his visa? Right? Shit like that. That's what a family would think. But at least he was honest and said, at Netflix, we're not a family, we're a team. You know? Yep, that's how it is, man. But like I said, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Listen, by the way, if you want to learn how to code, go to codingphase.com. If you still haven't tried the website out, just give it a try, okay? If you look at the description, you're probably going to see a discount there, 50% off, right? Click on that link, right? You can get 50% off on the website, 50 or 40%, something like that. It's like a coupon code. But go try it out. A lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people like it. We're building a lot of cool projects right now. Getting ready to start my second project for Shopify. We're building another project for Shopify to get you guys really prepared. Having a full stack application connecting to Shopify, and that becoming a application, a Shopify app. And for those of you guys that don't know, it's very profitable to start creating Shopify applications. It's like literally you could use the skills that you already know and that you've been like learning all this time and start making income for yourself. So you don't have to be here and be like, man, I gotta go work at a bullshit company because they pay me a lot, instead of you choosing a company that might treat you better, but then you're also making side income. So, it works out better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, go check it out. Shout out to the Bayless Co. Let me see what he says. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I turned down 90K jobs to stay at dev at my current company because of the culture. Yeah, sometimes, sometimes it's better like that. in the beginning when I first was getting into the game, I used to think like, man, I'm trying to make as much money as possible, so I'm trying to go apply to all these big companies. But once I started making my own income and started making like side income, extra 30, $40,000 on the side, then that opened the door for me to choose what I wanted to work on. Instead of me going to choose to whoever has the highest income for me. If I could make that shit, like the difference, like let's say if I wanted to make $100,000, right, and I could go work at a company that's gonna treat me good, I'm gonna have fun on the projects that we're building, I'm gonna enjoy it, I enjoy the team, etc., and I'm only making 60, $70,000, but I'm making another 40 on the side. That right there completes my whole 100,000. Okay, so and I'm happier, right? So why would I go and switch that up to go work at a company where I'm gonna be miserable, where I'm just part of the team? It's not a family, right? Like that's where you got to start asking yourself, what am I doing with myself, right? But yeah, guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. Let's cut this off short, 1 hour live stream. Hopefully some of you guys got what I was saying and don't be like, damn, Joe's talking about trees. Joe's talking to a tree. He's losing it. Like some of you clowns might be like that. But understand the analogy that I'm trying to give you. Why would you try to go and get a leaf from the top when there are leaves at the bottom where you could pick that up and continue your journey going up from there? Make your journey easier. Try to get into the game. Don't be stupid. Like, you know, the thing is not about who got the biggest title, who got the biggest, uh, the biggest freaking job offer or whatever. It's who got into the game quicker. Always remember that. The game is not about who came in and made the most money in the first job, or who came in and got the sexiest title for their first job. Is who got into the game quicker, right? Because there's people that their first job, it could be $120,000 in like a company like in San Francisco or something, right? But when you ask them how long did it take you to find a job, you'll start hearing a year and a half. Man, I've been doing this shit for almost 2 years. I had to go to a boot camp, then I would try to do this and that, then I had to build my portfolio, then I had to do this and that. Take a year and a half to get that shit done. When you calculate how much money they fucking lost by not working as a developer or just getting into the industry, it fucking evens out. Like, it's like when people be like, man, I want to become a doctor. A doctor doesn't make no fucking money for 10 years. Almost damn near. You know what I'm saying? Almost for damn near 10 years of just studying. Doesn't make no fucking bread. And have crazy loans, right? Now, why would you try to do that when you could make doctor money in a few years as a developer? I'm gonna leave you with that little line right there. So if that shit goes over your head, I don't know what to do with you. You're thinking. You know what I mean? Like if you don't understand that one, I can't do nothing for you. This is not the place for you because you're not using your brain. That's like a requirement. To watch CodingPhase.com, you gotta use your brain. And we're not talking about fucking trying to be like a smarty pants. Hey, I could know this and that, and this big words, and I could fucking calculate what's a billion divided by 16 by 17. Like, that's not being smart, kid. You know what I mean? We're talking about use this shit, use logic, use your fucking brain, okay? Like, some dude in there is like, yo, I could calculate 16 billions divided by 17, but divided by 16, divided by 24. And I could give you the numbers. It's like, all right, cool. But then you tell, hey, man, do you know how to fucking swim? Like some simple shit. And they be like, nah, I can't do that. All right, stupid. So it's like, don't talk to me about some shit. You go to the beach and you're like, yo, dude is telling you, he's like, I could divide this and that. All right, cool. You could do that. But we at the beach, my dude. We about to drown. Can you swim? Nah, I can't swim. All right, so what you just said was irrelevant. It's true, bro. we in the fucking Titanic. The The fucking boat was about to fucking sink. Dude is in there. Joe, but I know I could divide 16 billion by 17 by 24 divided by 23 divided by 27 rounded by 4. You know what I mean? Like, and then you look around like, my dude, but do you know how to swim? Some regular logical shit. Just regular logical shit. I don't know how to swim. All right, so drown, nigga. You know what I mean? Like I don't know about you, bro. Do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you that logical knowledge. You know what I mean? So you can use your brain. If you can't use your brain, this is not the channel for you, bro. Nah, that one was funny, man. That one made me crack up. You know, sometimes I'll be watching my own live streams just for motivation. Like I have a long drive because this shit that I be saying, I'm like, damn, man, that shit came from the inner mind. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, yo, I gotta write a book, bro. Like just off the live streams, the shit that I be saying in here, I'm like, yo, this shit is dope. I wish I had where's the CodingPhase for me? I'm trying to watch CodingPhase. You know, there's days I freaking listen to my own shit. You know, it sounds cocky, but it is what it is, man. I don't feel nobody's giving me that shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just picturing some dude. Fucking Titanic about to fucking everybody drowning. Everybody's like, but I could calculate 16 billion by 24 by 17 by divided by 32. And some dude just be like, yo, my dude, but do you know how to swim? I don't know how to swim. All right, so drown. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, like you don't know that. You don't know the basics. You're not using your brain. You don't know how to use logical shit. You know, it's like when people come in and be like, Joe talks about this, and that. This, like, I've seen so much shit. Guys that I fucking respect, and I look at them and I'm like, yo, how the fuck? You know, it's like here on YouTube, I'm at what 67,000 subscribers, and I make more bread than the guys that have 500,000. Literally, I make more bread than the guys that have 500,000. So that tells me, like, bro, if I had that position, it would be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? If I had that exposure, it would be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they don't have the logical thing, bro. They don't have that. There's a little thing they call it materia gris in Spanish. I don't know how you say that shit in English. What's it? Gray matter, right? They don't have that little thing. You know, it's like a guy that can draw. There's a guy that could come in here and, you know, he'll build you the house by the designs of some other guy, but he needs somebody else to tell him what to do and what to build. He could build a house. He could build the most amazing house, but he could only build it when somebody tells him. I'm not that type of guy. I don't need nobody to tell me how to build something. I know how to fucking build it. A lot of these guys, they know how to code, but can't build shit for themselves. A lot of these guys, they know how to work for a company, but can't build their own company, right? That's when, to me, I'm like, it's not that I'm smart or I'm different. It's just I'm using this shit. It's the same thing. It's like, you know how many guys when I started, and they used to be on Team Treehouse and freaking and Stack Overflow and like literally on fucking, what was this other forum? Webmasters, I think it was webmasters.com. No, webmastersforums.com. That was like an old forum that I used to go to. Like before Reddit, before all this shit that you guys join now, before Facebook groups, that's where I used to be at. Fucking talking to a couple of dweebs and nerds. And there was guys that were like amazing developers. But when I got hired, they were still at home. Guys that were like, I've been doing this shit for 2 years and this and that. I could teach you, I could train you, I could help you out. And I'm like, how I got a job and they don't? It's using this shit, bro. All the shit that I come in here, it's nothing that's amazing. I'm not a developer whisperer. I'm just using my brain. I'm breaking it down to you guys. I'm just reminding you guys to use your shit. You know what I mean? That's like a muscle. Put that shit to work so that shit don't be weak. You know? So anyways, I'm out of here, man. We have fun. Pedro Leon, brain matters, the brain. Build a brain. Yeah, man. I'm gonna leave you guys with that one. I could divide 16 billion by 24 by 23 by 20. But can you freaking swim, my dude? Shut up, then. You know what I mean? If you can't swim, that shit is irrelevant right now. We in the middle of the sea. Like, shut up. Like, Joe, I could code in every language. I could build all this shit. I'll build frameworks. But why you don't build that shit for yourself then? Why you don't make your own money? Why you still working for other people? So shut up then. You know what I mean? That's when you. Yeah, I'm out. I just gotta leave you with that one. It's like, yo, but I could divide 16 billion by 23 by 24 divided by 25 divided by 16. But can you swim, my dude? Take care, man.